Hello, my friends. This is Dr. Ginny Baro, and welcome to Start the Day with Ginny. How does this statement land for you? Gone are the days when we as professional women have to struggle alone in business and leadership. This was something that one of the members of our community brought to my attention when we were wrapping up our session. She said, Ginny, gone are the days. I wish I had someone like you to support me when I was at the beginning of my career. And later, after I spoke with her, I had the chance and the opportunity to speak with a new member of our community who's only been in the job market for 5 years. And so it was such a pleasure to see the polarity between someone who's actually looking to transition out of a corporate role and start her own business, and someone who's only been in business for 5 years and who is looking to grow and advance from where she's currently. The statement of gone are the days when we had to struggle alone in business and leadership as professional women is one that gives me tremendous pleasure to talk about. When I was growing up in the business world in 1991, when I graduated, I didn't really know the concept of a career coach or a leadership coach. And so I did it as best as I could with the resources I had. I learned from my mentors. I was very fortunate to have incredible leaders who were kind, compassionate, who had my back. And that happened through most of my career until toward the end when I had to experience different environments. And I learned how it could be different when you are operating and working with different people. And so I find myself fortunate that I had great role models to follow. And today, if I look back and said to myself, wow, if I had the support of a coach, a leadership coach, as I was coming up through my career, what could I have made of my career? I mean, I was thrilled to spend over 25 years in the corporate world. And to this day, I still have relationships and friendships that I made all that time throughout that period. And there is no denying that if I had other resources to lean on, that my life, my career, where I eventually ended up and how I eventually retire from corporate could have been drastically different. And so for you, what is it that you're currently struggling with by yourself? This is really important because asking for support can feel very vulnerable. It is almost admitting to yourself that, you know what, I've reached the end of my skill set. Whatever I know got me to where I am. And if I'm looking to grow and advance and continue with following my ambition, following my heart, the impact that I want to have, how I want to be of service in this world, that I need to up level, I need to retool. And if that is you, someone who realizes and recognizes that that's me, I want to continue to grow and advance, I'm not done yet, then the biggest piece of advice that I can give you is to surround yourself with the resources that you need. And that also means investing in yourself. And that again requires vulnerability. In many situations, we may not feel worthy of the investment. I'm going to pause for a second and let that land. You may not feel worthy of the investment in yourself. In other words, as a woman who I am very familiar with many types of different women and their mindsets, we sometimes think that everybody else needs our budget. Our kids, of course, their activities, our family, of course, our family vacations. And I'm hoping to inspire you to consider how investing in yourself is indeed in service of the people you love, including your children and your family. The biggest reward from investing in yourself, and I'm speaking from experience, is how you're going to feel. And we all know that a happy woman creates a happy home. And there is another saying happy wife, happy life. And there's many other sayings around the importance of the people who make up the home to feel happy, to feel fulfilled, to feel that we are rowing in the same direction. And likewise at work, when you are feeling in flow, when you know that the work that you're doing has impact, the team that you're working with is a high performing team that you're helping to develop and grow, that you have a manager around you who is supportive, who is there to help you knock down the obstacles in your way, and who can share his or her vision or their vision clearly and articulately, that you thrive. That's what happens when you are in flow, when you feel like you are investing in yourself, when you are doing your best and you're reaching your full potential. So that's one of the benefits. The first one is you. And then from you, of course, everyone else who happens to be in your sphere of influence gets to benefit. Another benefit of getting the support that you need is that you get to accelerate. So I have given you this example before, but I'll bring it in because it's totally germane. When I started my own business, if I had decided to learn everything by myself and struggle along the way, learning by doing and falling and getting up, instead of surrounding myself with the mentors and coaches who had already achieved what I was looking to do, albeit I'm doing it differently. If I didn't do that, there is no way I can tell you with 100% certainty that my business would be where it is right now and that my life would feel the way that it feels right now. Rather than feeling like I'm over my head, that I don't have this, that I'm not sure about the future, who knows what the next 12 months are going to bring me. Instead of that, spinning and going into rabbit holes from anxiety and fears, instead of that, I can focus on what am I doing today? How am I preparing for tomorrow? And what can I take from what my mentors and coaches have already taught me to implement? And that's another piece that I want to give you as a piece of advice. As learners, and most of my clients and my community is a community of people who are learners. That's one of my strengths, to be a learner. As learners, we love to acquire new information. It's like giving water to a plant, right? We just thrive when we are learning and acquiring information. And over time, what happens, and I've seen, it feels very comfortable to be in a learning mode because we don't have to implement and try and fail. And so sometimes learning can become a disadvantage when it is an excuse for not executing. Yes. If you find yourself that you're learning, and instead of starting to implement, you continue to learn more because you need to know a little bit more about this and a little bit more about that, there's something to be said about using learning as a stalling mechanism, as a way to procrastinate. And it feels good. So not only is it helping you stall, which is preventing you from getting to maybe I will fail. So it's preventing what you may be thinking is a negative outcome. It also feels good. So it's meeting this wonderful need for you to just be like a sponge, and yet you're not putting into practice what you learn. And so notice if that's you. And if that's you, let's break that pattern. And the way we break the pattern is by starting to implement something that's a low-hanging fruit, as I call it. What's a low-hanging fruit? Something that you've wanted to do that is easy to do, that has a low barrier to entry. What will be the least resistance that you feel about doing something, and go for that. And as you implement and get into action and execute, you will see that, oh, I got that done. It wasn't as bad as I thought. So that's how we break the pattern. We choose something that's high priority, that is a low-hanging fruit. We can get it done in no time and be done with it and move on. That is a win that will boost your confidence and will help you continue to implement and execute. As I usually say to my audiences when I give them training on leadership, execution is the proof that what you have learned has sunken in. Before you execute it is simply theoretical and it's simply knowledge. Knowledge and execution are power. That's one of my mottos. And so let's execute what you learn upon. And let's make sure that as you're executing and as you're looking at the future for what you want in your career and in your life, that you identify, you know what? I think this is it for me. I need support. And just like I have a coach, the people that I work with have me as their coach. It is a sign of courage when you ask for the support you need when you need it, so you can accelerate and advance. So not only will you feel good that you are taking the reins of your careers in your own hands, you will also move faster. You will achieve your goals faster. And ultimately, the benefit and the final benefit of investing in yourself is that your family, your children will get to reap the benefits of your hard work, investing in yourself, time, money, energy, because your income will increase. And so if you continue to invest in yourself so that you can create a niche for yourself, you will notice how your demand will go up. And as it goes up, so will your salary. And so that's all I'm going to say for today. I will leave you with that you have a lot to mull over. And if you need to connect with me, if you like to sit with me for a 45-minute complimentary strategy session, we can always do that at callwithginny.com. And if you want to be part of our community, you can go to executivebound.com. Live with purpose, live with joy. I'll see you soon.